What is up, guys? It's Slay here, and welcome back to another World of Warships Legends gameplay. And today we are back in the French ship for this Kraken's video gameplay. And if you could guess this destroyer, as you can see, we are at the destroyer commanders. I would probably recommend go getting yourself a lottery ticket and trying out your luck. And if you didn't guess it right, I would probably rewind the video and pretend like nothing happened and pretend like you got it right. But anyways, if you did guess it right, we are in the tier 4 premium French destroyer, Sirocco. And Sirocco is a, well, not a really good ship. Sirocco is a below average French destroyer at a tier 4. And many reasons why is, well, let's start off with the reload. The reload speed for the turrets are 8 seconds, and that is horrendous. That is something you don't want at a tier 4. Yes, it is 130 millimeter guns. Yes, it is a French destroyer. And no matter how I went with my build for this ship, I sort of couldn't get that lower down. Most likely could get it lower down to about 7.5-ish. But Sirocco is it's not a gunboat. I see it more of a torpedo boat, but the torpedoes aren't really that good either. What makes the ship really unique, it is concealment and, well, somewhat of its main battery reload booster that makes it really unique. Now, this ship does lack a lot of things that the other tiered French destroyers have, but one of the things that people were saying about this ship was how any other tier ships like the Germans, Russians, Americans, and the Japanese destroyers could definitely outgun this ship and most likely out-torpedo this ship. Now, we talking about 7.4 kilometer torpedoes. Not the very best torpedoes, but somewhat decent. Now, this is my first game on the Sirocco, and I actually managed to pull a Kraken. I know I'm talking all this negativity about the ship, but I somewhat got a Kraken, even though the ship is by far below average when it comes tier to tier. When you compare it to the other tier 4 destroyers, it's definitely at the bottom of the list for a destroyer. But let me demonstrate what I'm talking about. We're going to show the reload speed, of course. Concealment is 5.4, which is pretty good. I do have the perk going all out, which is going to decrease my concealment to 4.4, I believe. And I'm also going to demonstrate the torpedoes in the beginning and the end, so you're going to see what I'm talking about when it comes to decent torpedoes. They're not bad, they're pretty good, just decent. They're in the middle. When it comes to its HP health pool, it's average, not bad. It's at a tier 4. Normally what every tier 4 ship has, around 11,000-ish and more. We do have 2 engine boosts, which is pretty average. Now, the ship does look good. On paper, it looks good. It looks promising. But once you get the ship, you see many issues with it, and maybe it needs a balancing, maybe it doesn't. I don't know what World of Warships will do with this ship. But 8-second reload seems a little too much, especially given that it has that main gun reload booster with it. Now, we are going to send our torps out here. 5.5 kilometers. You gotta remember, these torps aren't fast. Isn't the French fast torpedoes? You can see there, the other torpedoes are actually going to almost outspeed them. I believe it was the think we have a Matsu on our team. Oh, not a Matsu, a Masuki on our team. Do hit him with one torpedo, we get him 14,000 damage, which, you know, it's pretty good. Pretty good damage on a battleship. You gotta remember, this is a tier 3 battleship. So, really doesn't count there. Did get hit right there with HE. I believe our cruiser is going to, yep. Our tier 4 cruiser is going to take down that battleship there. Furuataka, really good cruiser. DD Destroyer, or DD Hunter cruiser. Want to stay away from that. We're going to try to shoot at him with AP. Right now I'm just experiencing with the game, or the ship actually. So my first game in, whenever I use a new ship, I'm trying to do different things to see what I can do and cannot do. It's one of the things you want to do whenever you get a new ship. You want to experience new things. You want to experiments. You want to do experiments whenever you have the chance. Can the AP do some damage? Can the HE do damage? Should I use AP on battleship broadside? Should I use HE when broadside? How effective are the AP damage against cruisers? Etc, etc. So whenever I am in a new ship, a lot of things are going to happen. Now we're going to hug this island, and I did that on accident. I wasn't looking where I was going, and well, we crashed into the island here. But I did activate my engine boost here. We're going to have that 4.3 kilometer concealment, which is really ridiculous for a tier 4, but I'm not complaining there. Now we do have a Kamikaze, and Kamikaze is kind of a broken tier 4 ship as well. Torpedoes. We are going to sink our first kill there on the I believe it's the Russian cruiser. We get our first kill there, and Kamikaze is actually going to release his torpedoes, and I actually run into them. And that's, oh my goodness, that's a scary view to look at. I'm gonna try to dodge these torpedoes. Oh my goodness, that was really close. Really close right there. Now Kamikaze. Now I believe the Kamikaze has even slower guns than I do, if not on par with what guns I have. But you gotta remember, the 8-second reload doesn't mean that I have really bad damage on these turrets. We're talking about 130mm guns. I'm going to do more damage than what the Kamikaze will shoot at me if we are par and par with the reload speed. Right there. Now I still have that 4.3 kilometer concealment, and I think it's going to run out in about 10 seconds, so gotta use the best out of it. We do have carriers in the game, and the carrier did spot me in the beginning, but he backed away to do something else. We're up to 26,000 damage. We spot the Kamikaze here. We're gonna shoot at him, and we get 1,800 damage right there with 3 of our shells hitting. Do have 4 guns. We hit him with 4 guns there, but we get 17,000 damage. Someone did break his gun right there. We're gonna set him on fire, and we're gonna try to finish this kill while our teammates are trying to yoink it, and fortunately we do get it with 16 damage there, and another kill to add to our resume for Sirocco, or not Sirocco. But we do have the Furuataka here in tier 3 carrier. I believe it's the Japanese carrier here. And Furuataka is actually going to shoot our teammate destroyer. He's going to smoke up, leaving me vulnerable to the Japanese cruiser's HE, which, by the way, you don't want to be in line of sight with a Japanese cruiser if you're a destroyer. Trying to shoot at this carrier. and see if I could get some damage in there before he gets torped. I believe our teammate's gonna sink the carrier there with 2 torpedoes, and the Matsuki is actually going to sink the aircraft carrier there. Kurotaka, Japanese cruiser, not really heavily armored. I believe that I could definitely Citadel this cruiser if I were closer. Now we're going to switch from AP. Here's my experiment here. See if I can get some damage. If not, then the AP isn't really worth shooting at ships. We do get our 3rd kill of the game there, and there is 3 ships left, and we only need 2 more for the Kraken. And at this moment, I still have my main gun reload booster, so we're gonna try to see when to use that. Let's push forward here. We do have a battleship, and I believe that's the destroyer, American destroyer. We still have our carrier there. He was spotting the destroyer, but not anymore. So this ship does have some positives, but I feel like this ship has more negatives than positives. Yes, it does have that main gun battery reload booster, but having 8 seconds to 4 seconds isn't really worth it, in my opinion. And right here, we're going to use our main gun reload booster, and we do knock his destroyer tubes there, or his torpedo tubes there. But it really wasn't really worth it using AP on that British cruiser. As you can see there, we did set a fire, and just to demonstrate that the main gun reload booster really isn't worth it for this ship. 4 seconds is still below the tier. I believe the T-22 has a 4.2 to a 3.7 reload speed. The Germans, I'm still thinking to see. The Russians, that has a 130mm gun, I forgot the ship's name, also has a 4.4 reload speed. And right here, we're going to sink the American destroyer and get our 4th kill of the game here and leave the battleship. But overall, this ship, it's not a ship I would probably take out too much. Definitely a ship that I would probably have as a collection. We gotta remember, I am a sucker for French ships, and I was actually pretty excited to play this ship, but yeah, it's kind of changed my mind after this game. I mean, I don't know if it was either luck or just being in a perfect scenario for this game to get my Kraken, but yeah, this ship isn't really meant for tier 4, to be honest with you, and torpedoes there are going to hit, and we are going to get our Kraken there. 3 torpedoes hit, 2 floodings. For a really average game, no, it was pretty good. At a tier 4, pretty good game. 66,967 damage, 5 destroyed ships, 5 targets hit for our torpedoes. We did get 5 fires set on there, 4 flooding. Pretty good game. Kraken Unleashed and Devastating Strike to finish out. Top of the leaderboard was 2,085 damage or XP, which is pretty good compared to the other side, which really didn't show up to play at all. But anyways, guys, if you somewhat like this ship, leave a dislike, and if you do like this ship in collection wise, leave a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.